Hi, this is Joe Mullings, and it's TMG Pulse and Unwinding the Headlines. So we all know we're in the middle of this COVID craze right now, and it's a legit craze. I am watching the headlines create what I call a digital window to telehealth. That's exactly what's happening right now. So this week, we're going to chat about telehealth in the time of COVID-19. Companies raising money. TytoCare raises $50 million as an example, because the money going to telehealth right now is insane. And then also, companies roll out remote COVID-19 monitoring tools to free up hospital space. There are tons of companies raising money, and freeing up space and liberating people from having to go to a hospital are critical. So if you look at digital services in general and teleservices in general, the telehealth field has always been lagging. Why? First of all, patients always wanted to stand in front of doctors. There was something warming about that, getting your pulse taken, getting your heart checked, getting your lungs checked. And so telehealth now has enabled us not to have to go into those areas. So as you look at these opportunities and these organizations that you're planning on going to work for, you want to view them through that digital window that I'm calling it that provides telehealth. COVID-19 outbreak. Now we've got at-home testing, at-home monitoring, organizations that are able to do that right now. The patients, the fear of not seeing a doctor is now outweighed by the fear of getting caught in the COVID trap. So now suddenly, the lesser of two evils is seeing your doc over your phone, or over your tablet, or over your desktop. Here's what's really powerful. Private and public insurers are pushing U.S. customers and consumers towards telemedicine. Never happened before. In March, the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, expanded access to Medicare telehealth services for nearly 60 million elderly people in the U.S. The policy changes were declared on the regulatory flexibilities granted under an emergency declaration. News, we're not going backwards. So as you look at opportunities, think about the digital engagement and where the telehealth play is. It could be everything from a Fitbit, where you're being monitored at home. That technology exists already. It could be cloud-based computing. It could be engagement with the caregiver, the surgeon, the hospital administrator, the office administrator in the doctor's office moving forward. We're not going backwards. Telemedicine is the new norm. And it's about time. Now, here's what's great. When you look at a company, realize no regulatory lift in a majority of them. When you look at a company, no clinical lift, meaning less money required to get to market. You want to look at the companies behind the organizations as well, the private equity or the venture people. Are they pure medtech investors from the past? That might not be the only way to go, where in the past that was probably the only way to go. But tech companies are now investing in telehealth companies. Why? The money's there. So make sure you're looking at who the investors are, how deep they are. Headline, telehealth in the time of COVID-19. The World Health Organization mentioned telemedicine among the essential services in strengthening the health system in response to COVID-19. The World Health Organization. This is no longer a regional issue. This spans the globe. There's no regulatory agencies overriding US, EU, China. Very interesting to think about when you make your choices. One of the obvious challenges with healthcare and medtech has been scalability. Digital allows that to happen now. Headline, TytoCare raises $50 million to grow its telehealth examination and diagnostic platform. This is really interesting because this is a technology that's been around for a number of years. They just picked up another $50 million. Highly likely they wouldn't have gotten that $50 million previously. They raised $57 million, but here's what's interesting. When you're looking for a career move, look who the investors are. Walgreens in this one. Why is that important? Because now you have a potential channel for distribution. Super, super important. Headline, companies roll out remote COVID-19 monitoring tools to free up hospital space. The FDA again allowed developers to provide remote patient monitoring with some, here it is, extra leeway. That gap is not closing when we're done. As soon as the serious nature of COVID-19 outbreak became apparent, we started investigating where our wireless biosensor technology could help. Start looking at biosensor companies. They don't have to hold the whole platform. They just have to have that connectivity and on-patient wearability to then promote and provide that data back to a cloud. A brand new array of opportunities coming up for software, cybersecurity, product development, UI, UX. And it's happening not just in Silicon Valley. So as you're looking at these, realize that the world's moved into a digital play. Realize that the medtech companies that are the leaders right now are probably not going to be the leaders on the telehealth side and opening up what I call that digital window. And so now, for the first time in the medtech history, a $25 billion a year plus projected in 2 years, that market is going to dominate and be dominated by non-medtech companies. Make your choices wisely, be a little bit of a gunslinger, and you'll be rewarded for it. This has been Joe Mullings, Unwinding the Headlines.